everyone, this is Jennifer Pebbles from Studio Pebbles, and today as part of my Target Inner Circle Back to School for Mom blog series, I'm going to walk you through a very beginner tutorial on how to download printables and other digital files from the internet so that you can use them. There's so many great free printables you can find online, from home decor prints to stuff for your kids to home organization. There's just so many great things out there. Most of it is free or very affordable, and I think it's one of those things as a resource that all moms should feel comfortable and confident in being able to use that resource in their home. And so today, if you are someone who feels like they don't know how to download things from the internet or print them out, this tutorial's for you. We're gonna walk you through something pretty simple, and hopefully after this you'll be able to go ahead and start downloading. Okay, so just to get started, this is my blog here, Studio Pebbles blog, and I just pulled up a post that I wrote a while ago that had a free print attached to it. And so we're gonna use that as our free print that we're gonna download from my blog, and then I'll show you another website that has some really great stuff for your kids that you can print out as well. And I have a feeling that maybe that might be a little bit of a different process. So hopefully I'll show you a couple different things and you'll feel pretty good about doing this moving forward. Before we get started, the first thing you need to have is software from Adobe, and it is free from their website. It's called Adobe Reader, and if you just Google Adobe Reader, here you'll find Adobe Reader download, and you can get it straight from their website, and it is free. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to do anything, and it will run and install itself on your computer. And if we're assuming I use a Windows computer, this is asking you, are you using Windows? And it will ask you if you're using a different language or operating system, so you have other choices there. But anyway, before you download anything from the internet, it's a good idea to make sure that you have Adobe Reader on your computer installed. And if you don't, it's very easy to do. You just click the Download Now button and follow the steps to install it. Basically just either save it or run it, and it will install itself and it'll be ready to go. So that's that. If you need more help with downloading the Adobe Reader, then you can Google a tutorial on how to do that. I'm sure there's a gazillion of them out there. So anyway, I have it already installed on my computer, so I can't run you through that today, but like I said, just look it up on Google and I'm sure you'll be good. Okay, so let's hop back over to the blog post where I have my free printable, and this is something I offer a lot of free printable downloads on my blog, and a lot of other blogs and Etsy shops have printables that you can order. I have an Etsy shop where I sell printables for paper crafting, and every once in a while maybe a print or something like that, a craft for the holidays or whatever. So maybe it's a little self-serving that I'm teaching you how to do this, but because I enjoy downloading printables from other websites as well, I figure everyone should be able to enjoy it if they want to. So here we go. So you happen upon a blog post, you see this free printable, and you think, oh, I really like it. I want it, this print here. So at the bottom of the post, after I chat about blogging a little bit, I get into go ahead and download this free print. And so that's what we're going to do. Just download, click here. So for my files, I host my files on a service called box.com, and it operates off a cloud. So it's just a great online hosting tool, and I find it pretty easy to use. Works most of the time. I don't know why it's a little slow right now. But anyway, it's gonna pull up the file, and we're gonna go ahead and download it from here. And maybe while we're waiting, we could go over to this other site that I was talking about. This is mrprintables.com, mrprintables.com, sorry. And they have a ton of really adorable printable projects for your kids. They're always on Pinterest, and they're so cute. They're everything from little sort of paper creations that you can build to coloring book pages, art prints, you name it. They've got a ton of stuff. So we'll come back and look at here in just a minute. But I think my file is ready on box, so we'll open it back up. All right, we'll just refresh it. There we go. Okay, so here is the file. You can preview it in the window, and it is a PDF file, which again is why we need Adobe Reader. So we're going to go ahead and download it, and you do that just by clicking download. Now, again, I use Windows, and on my computer, I created a file folder for just this lesson under my username. I created a new folder, and I called it Back to School for Mom Download Tutorial. And I know how I get there from going to my desktop to my users. I'm Jennifer, and I find my file folder in my Jennifer file folder, and that's where I'm going to save this file. So really, from people I've talked to who don't download or aren't comfortable very much with doing this process, this is kind of one of those things that they're like, well, I've downloaded it, where did it go? So first and foremost, just like when you're organizing your papers at home, you need to find a place for something and know where that place is before you start putting things into it. So make sure that you know how to create a file folder on your computer and then how to get to that file folder afterwards. So again, we're just going to go ahead and save our file. And I'm using Chrome right now, so Chrome will tell me through this little window down below when it's finished. So I've finished downloading. It didn't take very long, and I have some Windows Explorer folders open down below, and I'm going to go to my Back to School for Mom download tutorial window, which is open, and there's my file here, Studio Pebbles Be Thankful Every Day. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. I'm just going to double click it. And again, this is Adobe Reader right here is what is opening up the PDF. And this will show you the print here. And this is an 8x10 print on a regular United States letter size piece of paper. So we're just going to go ahead and print this out. And this is the print dialog window. And I'm going to kind of walk you through this a little bit. Everyone's printer is different, so everyone's going to get different options on their when it comes to accessing their printer menu. But the Acrobat Reader printer menu looks like this. So first of all, you want to choose the printer that you want to use. We have a couple in our house, but the one that I'm going to use is the HP PhotoSmart 5520 series printer. So I'm going to select that. And before I get into my printer properties, I want to make sure that Adobe Reader is going to print this the way I want it to. And I find for prints, the most important thing that you need to make sure is that that your program isn't changing the size of your print. A lot of times it'll say fit, like or fit to page. And really, when you're printing, you don't want that because the artist who's created the print for you has created it in the dimensions that you're going to use. So for example, I created this print as an 8x10. So you wouldn't want it to choose fit, because if you choose fit, it's not going to be an 8x10 anymore. It's going to be some other number. So when you try to put in your frame, it won't fit. So just want to keep everything always at actual size, okay? And I'm okay choosing portrait. Looks right. Everything's here. Looks good. So now I'm going to go to my printer properties, and this is where I tell my printer how I want it to print this particular file. And here you go, paper quality, main tray letter says what media. This is what surface are you printing on. Now if I was going to print on glossy photo paper, this is where I would choose that. because I'm choosing to print this as a printable, I don't want to use regular plain paper. I want to use cardstock, and I talk more about that in another tutorial, but I use 65-pound white cardstock, and as long as it says that it is inkjet compatible, then I will use it. I buy mine at Target. I've bought it everywhere. There's really no office section that doesn't sell a package of white cardstock. So Target has theirs in their office supply section, and they have different brands from time to time. The one that I bought at my store was a brand called Nina Paper, which is a pretty well-known paper company, but it's just, again, 65-pound white cardstock, and I do have a photo of it on my blog post today that you can look at. So anyway, so that's where I'm going to choose this. Now there isn't a white cardstock option, but what there is, which I like to use and I use consistently, is this matte greeting card choice. I like that for cardstock. It works great. If your printer offers that option for you, then I would definitely pick that one. Otherwise, I would just choose like everyday photo paper matte. If you're using HP printer, it will give you that option. Or sometimes you just want to choose like other inkjet printers. Plain paper is mostly, you're going to use that for like printing like copier paper, like the thin stuff. So we don't want to use that. Anyway, everything else looks good. So we're going to hit OK. And then from here, all we're going to do is hit print. And out will come your print, and hopefully it will look fantastic. And that's it. That's how easy it is to print a PDF once you have Adobe Reader installed and you've downloaded something onto your computer. So we're not going to print this right now. We're going to hit cancel, and I'm going to close this reader back up, and I'm going to minimize my window, and we're going to go back here to this Mr. Printables website, and we are going to see kind of what they have. So let's go to back to school, since that's our theme for this series. And I just want to say that I'm not affiliated with Mr. Printables in any way. I'm a big fan. I think they have really cute stuff. And so I just wanted to use that as an option. Okay, so here's some back to school printables that they have today on Mr. Printables. All right, so we can, I think it's loading some more posts right now. Yeah, okay, so we'll just wait. Here we go. Okay, so there's all cute gift tags, printer ruler gift tags, lunchbox notes, back to school pencil favor boxes, which would be super cute to put little treats in or whatever. I don't know, let's see. There's also some other options down here if you want to make some cute masks for your kids. Those are really adorable. My daughter would love those. They have all kinds of great things. But for now, I think we're just going to try the back to school pencil favor boxes. Let's try the most complicated one. So again, we're just clicking it and waiting for it to load. It's a slow day for the internet here, I guess. All right, so here you go. They've got all kinds of pictures showing you what the final product should look like, and I'm sure they're oh so cute. We'll give you some instructions on how to fill them out, how to build them, and what you can use them for. All right, so here we go. Make sure you read the terms and conditions before downloading. Let's see. So what color should we download? How about we download this yellow pencil box? So again, looks like this is the same thing. It's just a PDF. Here's your file here, and it's ready to go. So you can just save it. And how you do that is, if you notice, if you pull your mouse down to this right-hand bottom corner, there's a little save icon. And just save it just like we did before. There it is in our folder. Mr. Printables Back to School pencil box. And again, when you double click it, it will pull up Adobe Reader. And the same thing, you just want to, this is a landscape it looks like page rather than portrait, but we'll just do print again, and you can just see this is where it's cutting it off if we choose portrait as our landscape or as our orientation, so we want to choose landscape. And we choose landscape, there it is, looks really good. And again, you just walk through the same steps as we did before. Choose your printer that you want to use. Set up your properties, make sure, you know, like you choose the right paper that you want to choose. Make sure it's actual size. Make sure it's all looking good in the window before you hit print. Okay? So the one thing I wanted to show you today was how to work with a zip file. Sometimes when you're getting a large download, you'll get a file that's a zip file that is like a little file folder with a zipper on it. And what that is basically Windows. I don't know about Apple, but I know that Windows uses a zip file as a file compression, so that your really big files, you stuff them into this folder, and when it downloads it from the internet, it compresses the data so that it's not so big and unwieldy. And then your job when you download the zip file is to unzip the file. And it doesn't work any differently as far as how to download it from the internet. You do it the same way you would do just about anything else. But we'll go, I think we're going to go, I'll just show you a zip file that I have on my folder, and we can go, we'll just test it out. So I have, let's see here, my downloads folder. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of downloads. I have my fonts. There's some zip folders, that's what they look like right here. And we'll go to fonts. And here is Graphique is a font that I just purchased recently. And here you go, it says compressed zip file. Shows you that right here. And what we're going to do in order to open this file, in fact, actually I'm going to copy it and I'm going to put it back in this file that we were using before, just so it doesn't get lost with everything else. So let's say you've just downloaded this zip file from Etsy or something like that. All you need to do is right click it and hit extract all. And it will ask you, is this an okay place to put your extracted files, which is basically in this same main folder. And I say, sure, that's great, extract it, go ahead. And usually Windows will pull up for me the new open folder, but we don't need that, so we'll just close that, because here in this is the folder we've been using. You'll see that this is the open folder. And just for home organization type purposes, whenever I extract a file from a zip file like this, I take my original zip file and I just drag and drop it into that folder. So now when I double click on that folder, it's there. I don't have to do anything with it. I know where it is. So, but I want to access this folder, and basically here is my font. So now, if you have never downloaded a font or opened a font or installed a font before, this is an open type font, and all you do is double click and it will pop up this window and just hit install, and it will install it for you. And that's really as difficult as it gets. I'll hit install, it will tell me I already have it installed, so I'll say no, I don't want to replace it. But otherwise it would just install it and then it would be done, and you could use it on whatever program you want to use your fonts for. So that's pretty much it. That is how you download printables or fonts from the internet, and how you install them and print them using Adobe Reader. And I think that we've covered it all. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment on this blog post, and I will happily respond the best I can. Anyway, have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.